Okay. And I'm showing 7:35. Okay. And calling the meeting to order. Did everybody have an opportunity to go over any minutes from the April 7th meeting?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anybody have any changes or additions, corrections? I don't have them in front of me, I'm sorry to say. So, John Church, have you had an opportunity?
Yes, I read through them. Hold on, I can pull them up if you'd like.
Okay, thank you. This is,
Oh, I cannot because I don't have the ability to share my screen.
oh, I can't get rid of this. The meeting is being recorded, so it's crossing everybody.
There
Continue.
should be a continue button up there.
Yeah, hit the continue
Oh,
button.
I did.
Patty.
Thank you. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Last time I did something I wasn't sure of, I just ruined it
Uh,
for myself. Okay.
So on the bottom of page 1 of the minutes,
Okay.
it says Miss Revalis instead of Miss Revolus. It should be Revolus.
Okay.
And I think that it shouldn't be to approve the suggestion. I think it should be made a motion to take no action.
All right. Anybody? Do you need any more? Hold on one second. Lost my little sheet. Is there a second?
We don't need a second. That's just a
We don't.
correction to the,
It's just a correction. Okay. All right. Anything else?
it's actually misspelled as Revalis the entire way through, I think. So we can just make that change throughout the entire thing. I don't need to say it each time.
Okay, thank you. All right. Did you find anything else? On any other page other than the Revelis?
Well, multiple times it says made a motion to approve the staff recommendation. And again, I think it should be made a motion to take no action. That's for, on page 2, that's for 1781-19,
Okay. No action.
1782-20, 1784-20, 1786-20 on page 3, 1787-20, 1789-20, etc., 1791-20, 1793-20. On 1781-19, it says Ms. Revalis seconded and has 2 Ds and seconded, so it should just be 1 D at the end. That's
All right.
3 Ds, but 2 back to back at the end.
Okay, so I'm sorry, 1757-18. 17, correct? No
And-
action?
Yeah.
Okay, and 19, no action. 82-20, same
Mhm.
thing?
Same thing.
Okay. 84-20,
Same thing. Basically, wherever it says made a motion to approve the staff recommendation, it should be changed to made a motion to take no action.
yeah, okay. All right, let me do one thing at a time. 86-20 was no action.
Mhm.
87-20, same
No
thing,
action. Yep.
okay. And 89-20.
Yep.
and 91-20.
And 93-21.
3-21. No action. Okay. And 96-21.
96-21, I think, was motion to hear the case, so that's fine.
Okay,
97-20 is fine. Motion to hear the case.
here, okay. All right, so on the no actions, I
And then-
believe, go ahead. Go ahead, John.
Sorry, so 1757-18 and 1781-19, the seconded is spelled wrong in both cases.
Okay,
It has an extra D at the end.
okay.
Those were the only
Mhm.
corrections I found.
So that's it for all the pages.
That's it for all the pages.
Okay, thank you. So this is very laborious because I don't have anything in front of me. So do you want to go through who made the motion, who seconded each one? Is that agreeable?
I think the way that they had it, to my recollection, was correct. I don't have your notes, so
Okay.
sometimes we catch things differently, but
All right, that's okay. Well, considering the changes, is there a motion to accept these particular cases with the changes that were already expressed and the no actions on each, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cases. Is that
Sure.
agreeable?
Yes, Samuel
Pardon?
Pride motion to accept the minutes with the changes.
Okay. Is there a second?
second.
Okay. John, any discussion on any of these cases or as we go through them? Is there any discussion on this particular case?
Patty, it's the minutes. It's not on a case.
I thought, yes, you're right. I meant this particular case number. Should I use those?
It's a change to the minutes. So if we agree to the
Just the
change to the minutes, we
minutes.
don't need to discuss
Okay.
the cases.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you. I'm lost without the paperwork. Okay, so. All right. Now. Now we can go through the. Wait a minute, hold on.
We still need a vote.
Chair's report.
We still need a
Oh,
vote
sorry.
to approve the minutes.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, thank you. Motion to approve the minutes.
Sam made a motion. I made a second. We need a vote.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any discussion? Any abstentions?
Aye.
Aye,
Fran,
Johnny,
Okay. All right. Okay. And Johnny May, well done. Okay. 2 abstentions. Any other discussion? All right, so we had an all in favor, we had the ayes,
mhm,
2 abstentions. And the minutes passed with the corrections. Okay, thank you. Okay, so. All right, Chair's report. Well, other than being slightly my own fault. Welcome to our meeting, and hopefully everybody got through COVID with all good, a good report. And I miss seeing you in person, and hopefully we will see each other again in person. And thank you for attending. Okay, I'm going to turn this over to Lamont. Okay,
Thank you. Good evening, Madam Chair. Just for the record, do you all need to take attendance so we can confirm that we have a quorum? Because there are some things you'll be voting on tonight.
certainly, thank you. Okay,
I don't know if you did already.
and no, I'm doing it now.
We have 6, including the chair. I believe a quorum is 4.
Great.
See. And Mr. Pride. Okay.
If they could just say their names out loud for the for Telesco, that'd be greatly appreciated as well.
Absolutely. Okay, and
Is Telesco on?
Yes.
They are. Mhm.
Well, can't they see who's on the screen? Oh, the telephone people, their names aren't up there.
Right.
Okay.
okay. And Telesco. Okay. Okay, so all right, going over this case 1757-18. There was a suggestion of no action.
Patty,
Yes,
sorry, I think we're still in Lamont's director's report.
I beg your pardon. I'm sorry.
That's
There was
okay.
a pause and I
That's
just
okay.
jumped right in. So
That is
sorry.
okay. No, that's okay. So, so good evening, everyone. For the record, I'm Lamont Daniels. I'm the Chief of Community Services. I am not the Director of Human Relations and Fair Rent. However, I am standing in this role. In terms of a report to the commissioners, as you all know, we lost someone very dear to us, which was Attorney Anna Keegan, and we have been aggressively recruiting. In terms of the report, I wanted to inform you that we actually sent an offer letter to attorney, but unfortunately, they declined our offer and took another position somewhere else. So that means we're recruiting all over again. So so this is a little bit longer than I expected, and I'm a little disappointed, but we also understand. And so, however, the department continues to stay abreast, and we continue to serve Norwalkers. Many of you know Jasmine, who is, in my opinion, the gatekeeper to this work. And I'm really excited to have a great team. Tonight, we were able to contract with corporate counsel, and they recommended a great attorney. So for the purpose of the report to review cases, I'm going to turn it over to Attorney Russ Liskoff. And Russ, I would like you, for the record, to kind of introduce yourself, the expertise you bring to the table, and then through you, Madam Chair, he will review the cases that are before you this evening.
Oh, thank you.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you for having me. My name is Russell Liskov, and I've been a practicing attorney for about 34 years or so. I was in private practice for 10 years, and then I joined the city of Bridgeport back in 1996. And I retired from the city of Bridgeport 21 years later on my 55th birthday. And then they contracted me to come back to them on a part-time basis. And I handle for the city of Bridgeport all the Water Pollution Control Authority collection matters. I do all the tax appeals. I represent the Planning and Zoning Commission. And I represent the Zoning Board of Appeals for the city of Bridgeport. I've also been corporate counsel before in my career for the town of Westport, Newtown, Weston, Greenwich, and a couple other towns on a part-time basis. I was contacted by Corporation Counsel that could fill in, and I was happy to do that. Mr. Capola contacted me, and I know Mario for a lot of years, and he's a great guy. And I was lucky enough to, God bless you. I was lucky enough also to know Mr. Daniels from interacting with him when he was at the city of Bridgeport Housing Authority, or Park City Communities, whichever one you want to call it. And then I came down and I met with Mr. Daniels. I met with Jasmine, and I would say that the town of Norwalk, or the city of Norwalk, is very lucky to have Mr. Daniels and to have Jasmine. They're very on top of their stuff. They're very dedicated and they're very passionate about their work. I think Ms. Keegan put in a great amount of time on her files too, and had them very neatly organized, and all the data was in the file for me. She kind of set the pins up for me to come in and knock them down, because everything was pretty much organized. I found that in most of the cases, you can mediate between the landlords and the tenants and bring them to the table, and they all get a lot more realistic with each other very quickly when they have somebody who has no vested interest in it to say, you need to do this, or you need to do that, or you're being unreasonable here, or you're being unreasonable there. If you wanna get a decision that no one will like, keep on doing what you're doing. But I'm able to bring people together. I also do a lot of the landlord tenant for the city of Bridgeport. So I'm very familiar with the housing court, and sometimes we can do stuff for people. Sometimes we have to direct them to the housing court. With COVID, it seems like most of your cases are actually going away, because the landlords are backing off on their claims for raising the rents dramatically, and the tenants are willing to pay something more. And the tenants are also fed up with their landlords, and the tenants want to leave where they are to find greener pastures. I don't know if they're going to find greener pastures, but most of them are looking and have found greener pastures and are moving out, and the landlords are not unhappy to see them go. So, it's kind of what I found landlord tenant is, no matter how good the landlord tenant relationship is, it always ends badly at the very end. Someone is always going to be unhappy with the other one, no matter how well they treated them. 2% of the cases, the landlords will be happy with the tenant, and 2% of the time, the tenants will be happy with the landlords when they leave. But our job is to see that things are fair. Our job is to oversee what's happening is within the purviews of the law, and to try to make people come together and be reasonable with each other. And sometimes it seems to me that many times you have to bring the landlords more into the fold than you have to bring the tenants into the fold. The tenants are on the ropes, and they're just trying to survive. Met a lot of tenants who were, older, retired, they're sick. It's just a lot of bad things have fallen into their life. And they know that they need to, be amenable, and the landlords know that we bring the landlords back down to realistic expectations from their tenants. And so Jasmine sent me a list of, if you have any questions about my background or what I do, I'd be more than happy to answer any questions if there's anything else you'd like to know about me. Well, silence is good. Okay.
Thank you for joining us.
No, my pleasure. To me, these are all good. They're not a lot of heavy lifting. If you Google me, you'll see I've tried a lot of cases all the way to conclusion. You'll see I have cases in the Supreme Court. You'll see I have appeals in the appellate court. Most of the cases are just tried on the trial level. But I would say I've handled probably upwards of 1,800 tax appeals. I probably have had to try 10 of them out of 1,800 of them. So I'm able to bring people around to the table to see the light, to see a number, to see something that's reasonable. And we've usually been able to enter into stipulated agreements. From what I saw in Ms. Keegan's files, she was doing the same thing. She was putting a lot of work in them, and she's very passionate about what she does, and all the people have liked her very much. I think I'll be likable too, but probably not quite as likable as she is, because I just don't have as likable personality as she is. I'm a little more demanding of people, and I'm a little more authoritative as to what I think, and I won't be afraid to communicate what I think with anybody. If I give you an answer today, it'll probably be the same answer 20 years from now. It rarely will change.
Mhm.
So, and I'll tell you that 98.7% of the time, it'll be correct as well. I don't find these cases to be overly taxing. There's a limited things that we can do for people, but we're gonna make people as happy as we possibly can and make them come to the table and make them resolve their differences, hopefully without having to have full hearings before you guys. Because that is a painful experience for them and a painful experience for you, and you never know what's gonna happen at the end of the day. So that's what I can say. As far as the calendar goes, Jasmine put that together. I got it later in the day. They go by number. And what I'm gonna ask Jasmine to do for me in the future is to, well, Mr. Daz, are you able to share screen at all?
Yes,
With
let
the
me,
agenda?
I can pull them up. Give
If
me,
you could put them on the screen, because I usually go by name. I'm a big names person as opposed to the numbering of them.
okay.
Because that's what triggers my recollection of who the people were, what the people were, what they said. I don't have the files in front of me.
Yep.
But if I have the agenda, Jasmine made notes on them, and I can go through them as to why I'm making the recommendations that I'm making.
Yep, I'm pulling that up right now for everyone.
And I should know how to do that, but I'm not as technically
Oh
savvy
boy,
as you are.
see this, you put the pressure on, everybody's watching me.
Well,
I'm like, oh boy.
I will tell you that I am as regular as the sun every day. I will tell you that if you want me, I'll always be there. I will tell you my typing skills are not the greatest, and my technical skills are less than my typing skills. But
Okay, I found it. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Okay, so can everyone see that?
We can, thank you.
Okay,
Yes,
Thank
thank you.
great. So, so what we asked Attorney Liskoff to do is to review the cases that you all have been familiar with, and to one, introduce himself and just kind of help us understand where we are, and then move the cases along. As the director of the entire department, I also asked him to consider what can we close, so that when we do have the new director, our intent was to the extent that we can, let them come in with a fresh start and move into the position. And so again, we are just really excited to have Attorney Liskoff with us. He comes down to the office, talking with our Norwalk residents, working with them and getting to some conclusion or whatever we need to do. So so normally we would normally go through each case, and then you would make the recommendation, Attorney Liskoff, and then the commission will make a motion to accept discussion, and then we'll just move them right along. And then if the commission members have any questions, then you will go back and forth with them. That's been the usual process.
all right, very good. Do we also have a name with the file at all? We don't have a name with the file.
No, the names are not on here.
Okay, well, I can go through them. I
Yeah,
don't think-
because it's a public meeting, we wouldn't put the names on here.
Oh, okay, very good. But I'll have that next time, so I can jog myself that way. So
Sure.
the first case down is 1757-18. Do you want the addresses as well, or you don't want the addresses? It's
Yes.
on the agenda.
Yes,
on the
please put
agenda.
the address into the record.
Okay, 8 Union Avenue, apartment B3. We discussed the matter, and the landlord and the tenant entered into a new lease agreement with each other, and the complainant filed a withdrawal of the action. They have a new year lease under a rent that they're satisfied with. So I would ask that we, since they actually filed a withdrawal of the complaint on May 21st, 2020, that the matter be taken off of you voted to close your file, because they've satisfied what needs to be satisfied under your purview for fair rent.
I move that we close case 1757-18.
I
Jerry
second
Pride,
Fran
second
Collier
it.
Clemens.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. Is there any discussion?
Any dis-
All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
Okay,
So the next case, the next case was done before I came. It was 1781-19. They do not, there's no listing of the address on the calendar that I can see here.
Mhm.
What was going on was they are still haggling out what is going on with their matter. This was done by Ms. Keegan. It looked to me that there was an adequate reason for a $58 a month rent raise. It looked like they hadn't had a raise in several years. And, her recommendation, as I said, this file was done before I was there, but the recommendation was to take no action because it was a fair request under the guidelines and under the market rates for rental properties. So that's 1781-19.
Attorney
I move
Liskov,
no action. Fran Collier Clemens.
Okay, second,
Jeremy Pride, second.
Mr. Pride, second. All in favor? Oh, I'm
Aye.
sorry.
Aye.
Any
Aye.
discussion? I should say that. Any discussion before we continue?
Mr.
All in
Church, did you have-
favor?
I can speak after we vote.
Okay.
Okay.
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Can you hear me?
Now
Yes,
we can.
Okay, must have been on, because I made recommendation, no action, and nobody heard me. Okay, it was my phone. I got it.
Okay, thank you. Okay,
Attorney Liskov, with due respect, the precedent on this commission is for the council not to make a suggestion about whether or not they believe that the case is fair or not fair, or the rent raise was fair or not fair, so as not to bias the
Mhm.
commissioners in the event that this does go for a hearing in the future. We don't want to be in a position of potentially having been influenced by the staff, or being accused of having been influenced by the staff in the event of a future hearing.
Okay, I was just going by what Ms. Keegan's notes were in the file. I won't give any commentary on that.
She may have had commentary one way or the other, but she tried to always keep that to herself and not share it with us
Okay.
during the meeting.
All right, very good.
thanks, John.
thanks.
Janice, can you scroll up?
I certainly can.
Yeah. All right, thank you.
The next matter is 1782-20.
Yeah.
120 South Main Street, Apartment 1. This was also completed before I arrived, and under the counter, it says the staff recommends no action.
Hi, Johnny Weldon. No action.
Fran
Okay.
Collier Clemens, second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next matter on the agenda is 1784-20, 32 Prospect Street, Apartment 2D. On this one, the staff also recommends no action.
Okay, is there a mo-
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a motion?
Jeremy
so
Pride,
moved.
motion, no action.
Johnny
Second.
Weldon, second.
Okay. Second, okay. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next one on the agenda is 1786-20, 8 Northern Place, Apartment 467. And on this one, I did work on this one. On 5/8/21, the tenant moved out. So it mooted the file. There's no anger between the landlord and the tenant anymore. And the staff recommends the vote to close the matter.
Fran
move-
Collier Clemens moves to close the case.
John Church,
Thank you.
second.
Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next matter on the calendar is 1787-20, 91 Soundview Avenue, Apartment 1. This was resolved before I got there as well. The staff recommends no action.
Hi, Johnny Weldon, no action.
Sylvia Pride, second.
Pride, second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next matter on the agenda is 1789-20, 29 Ferris Avenue, Apartment 21. This was resolved, before I got there as well. The staff recommends no action.
Fran Collier Clemens, no action.
Samuel Pride, second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next matter is 1791-20, 16 Bedford Avenue, Apartment 7. Once again, it's on before I came. The staff recommends no action.
Johnny Weldon, no action. Recommend no action. Sorry.
Fran
Thank
Collier
you.
Clemens, second.
Okay, excuse me. All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next matter on the
Okay.
agenda is 1793-21, 167A Grumman Avenue. Once again, this was resolved earlier this year before I was there. The staff recommends no action.
Samuel Pride recommends no action.
Okay,
Johnny Weldon, second.
thank you. Any discussion? Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay, thank you.
The next matter on the agenda is 1796-21, 13 Clinton Avenue, Apartment 3. It's resolved sometime in March of 21. The staff recommends no action.
I, Johnny May Weldon, recommend no action.
John Church, second.
Okay. All right, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions?
Then the next matter on the calendar, 1797-20, Glover Avenue, Apartment 202. I did work on this one. The landlord and the tenant came to an agreement, and the tenant and the complainant filed a withdrawal of the case. The staff recommends to vote to close the case.
Fran
move.
Collier Clemens moves to close the case.
John Church,
Yep.
second.
Okay, wait a minute. Okay, sorry, any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Okay,
I
Thank
think
you.
that ends what I have for you tonight on the calendar. I think you're gonna see probably 4 to 6 more withdrawal of complaints. So they're coming. It just takes time. You send a person a piece of correspondence that sits on their table for a couple of weeks, and you call them, and they eventually send it back. They eventually send it back to you if you're diligent enough. So, but right now there are really, I think there's only like one hot button case that's out there, and I'm working on that. It may be done because I think the tenant moved out or is moving out this Friday. But that's the only acrimonious one that I'm aware of right now. And I'm sure you're gonna get more business with COVID coming to an end, knocking wood, and
Yep.
landlords bringing more evictions actions against tenants who are behind. So I anticipate a heavier workload for myself, Jasmine, and Mr. Daniels in the
Mhm.
upcoming months. But right now, it's relatively quiet, I would say.
Good news so far. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you so much,
My
Attorney Lisk.
pleasure. Okay, Lamond?
Thank you. So thank you very much. Madam Chair, through you,
Yes.
and because this will go on public YouTube, I would like to encourage anyone that's watching that this week, if you go onto the city's website, we are partnering with the United Connecticut Bus. This is the emergency rental assistance program that will be in Norwalk at South Norwalk Library. So if you can either go on the South Norwalk Public Library website or the city's library or the city's website. We encourage Norwalkers, to Attorney Liscau's point, if you are struggling with paying your rent, if you are struggling with because of COVID, there are resources there. And so we encourage Norwalkers to come out, because what we're hearing is that some Norwalkers are saying, I don't know if I qualify. I will encourage Norwalk, just come out and see if you qualify. The information is on the website, what you need to bring, because to Attorney Liscau's point, the eviction moratorium as it stands will lift June 30th. And we're all very concerned of what's going to happen to our residents. And so while we have this process, we also want to elevate and amplify the tools and resources that many of our Norwalkers are eligible for and qualify for. So thank you, Madam Chair, to allow me just to share that information to encourage our residents that there are services and resources out there. They go on the city's website, or Sherelle Harris, our executive director of the library, has posted all the information for people to come to the South Norwalk Library, and we'll have case managers there to hear people's cases and see if they qualify for rental assistance support, so they don't have to be before this commission, because that's our goal.
Oh, very
Can I add
nice.
to that? Lamont, it's also posted on the city's Facebook page.
Thank you.
It's also posted on Norwalk Community Facebook page.
Thank
It's
you.
also posted on my personal Facebook page,
Thank
and
you.
it has been circulated through other people on Facebook.
Great. Appreciate it so much. Really do.
Mm. Very nice. Thank you. So, is there any other business? Okay, is there any old business?
I just want to thank Attorney Lisco for being here and being a great service that we can use at this point in time. So again, I just want to say thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Well,
Yes.
thank you guys. You guys, the commission does great work, and your staff, I tell you, your staff really, between Mr. Daniels and Jasmine, really impressed me. When you can walk in and look at everything and it's seamless, and you don't have to hunt and peck and ask a whole lot of questions, and the data's there, it makes your job a heck of a lot easier, let me tell you, to not to dig. So I appreciate them, and I appreciate all of you, and I look forward to meeting you all sometime in person.
We look forward to meeting you also.
Yes. Okay. Yes, certainly. Thank you for being here. And I'm sure I'm missing something.
New business?
Well, that's something I must have missed. And new business, anything?
No, I think the bus that Lamont just spoke about, I did get the information from Sherelle,
Great.
and I think that is excellent. And we
Yeah,
really,
good.
really need to get it out there to people that I'm sure are truly in need.
Mm,
I thank Sherelle, and I've been getting it out personally, even through the churches, We just really need to get it out there.
Good, good. Okay.
Motion to
Hey.
adjourn.
Oh,
Second the
thank you.
motion.
Second, Fran Collier Clemens.
All right.
All right,
Adjourn
Josh.
and 8:14.
Okay.
And thank
Okay,
you all
everybody
for.
have a
Thank you,
good
everyone.
night.
Have a good evening.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Mom.
Patty.
You.
Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone. Thank you,
everybody.
Patty.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
Good
Keep
night.
staying safe.
Thank you, Tech
Good
Group.
to see you.
Bye.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Larry.
Let's meet in person.
Yes.
Okay, Peter.
Thanks, everyone. Good
Yeah.
night.
All right, good night.
Have